is a licensed marriage and family therapist practicing in the Long Beach, California area. Recognizing isolation can spark so many thoughts and feelings, she offers telephone and video sessions to support clients. Kimberly Tyler-Brown is here with us today to provide tips on how to maintain during this time of crisis. Kimberly, thank you for being with us today. Are you there?
Hello, everyone.
Personally, I'm sheltering in place in my apartment. So the question is for me. How do we protect our mental health during this prolonged amount of isolation?
I would encourage you to maintain some type of routine. I know the routine that you had when you would be out of the house, going about doing your daily things that you would do. I would say to create some type of new routine that's now with you being in the house. And so maybe that's a routine of you starting your day with some type of gratitude. Maybe it's something where you're now including some type of exercise where you're doing it in the house. I would incorporate some type of getting into nature, going maybe in the backyard, going outside, taking a walk around your block, something of that nature, as well as making a plan for the day to see who you can connect with on the internet. Maybe you're connecting with friends doing a Netflix party. Maybe you're doing, maybe some type of video chat or maybe a conference call with some of your friends or family to stay connected. I think that's something that's really key, as well as just doing some mindfulness. Maybe it's something that you've been wanting to do for a very long time that you haven't had the time. Well, now you have the time. So maybe write that book or, create that poem or that poetry book or that artwork that you have or the music. Whatever that is, whatever that creativity is that you have been putting off, why not do that now? Because now you have all the time in the world. As well as take some time out to just take a hot bath, light some candles, have some type of scent in the house where you're just winding down, maybe reading a book and just relaxing and having one-on-one time with yourself. So it's so many different things that you could do, but I would suggest to be intentional about it by setting some type of schedule, some type of daily routine for yourself.
Oh, okay. So we're talking about the sense of accomplishing things. Okay. What kind of self-care is most appropriate?
I think it's more of a personal thing because that self-care for me, I can turn on some music and just dance around the house. And so if it's some music that I really like, so I really listen to D Nice, the DJ over the weekend. And so just listening to that and me just dancing around the house was self-care for me. It made me feel so good. It increased the serotonin and I just felt great. And so after that, I still continue to feel great and then engaged in maybe reading a book or, just spending time with family or playing games with family. And if you're in the home by yourself, you can play those games on the internet with friends. So you can connect with some type of media as far as whether it's Zoom, whether it's some type of conference call, whether it's FaceTime, for you to play some type of games online and you play them together. So it's so many different things that you can use, but I would say that it's more of a personal preference as far as what you would like as far as self-care. Also, self-care could be going outside and just sitting outside in your backyard or in your front yard and just feeling the vitamin D on your skin, feeling the sun just beam. That's self-care. Maybe just sitting outside with your computer or your tablet and just, enjoying that. Maybe exercising. Maybe it's writing. Maybe it's artwork. Maybe it's creating some type of beats for music. It's so many different ways that we can utilize self-care, but it's the key word in that is self. So I can't really say what would be best for you, but I would say to look within yourself and reflect on what do I enjoy and try to incorporate some of that into your daily routine.
Okay, I can admit those types of things, they do make me feel better. What do you say to those of us who are isolated but are experiencing the blues about it?
I would say for those people who have the blues, and that blues could be maybe feeling depression or feeling anxiety about what's going on, having some type of fear, I would say first to limit your access to the news, to social media, to other people who are anxious about what's going on in the world, because that anxiety, the anxiousness of others then jumps onto us. So we want to make sure that we are taking care of ourselves and limiting, governing what we see. So setting boundaries by what we see and what we are allowing our eyes and ears to listen to. So maybe it's once a day that you're listening to the news. Maybe it's, once a day that you're going on social media and looking at all these different things that people are saying about what's going on in the world. So I would say limit your access to those things because it causes anxiety and it causes fear and it sets in, it becomes contagious, and you're in the house just by yourself just freaking out. And that's not a good thing. So I would say first to limit your access to those things, as well as, like I mentioned before, to create a routine so that you can have something going on with yourself so that you feel productive. Like I said, maybe it's something that you've been putting off and continuing to say, oh, I don't have time for that. I don't have time. Now you have the time. Now you have the time to sit with yourself and create all these different things that you may have been wanting to do. And you'll be surprised by what you may create by allowing yourself to sit in that.
Kimberly, this is such valuable information. Now, I know that I'm not the most touchy-feely type, but I do know that human physical touch is a need. How do you soothe not being touched?
Yes, I agree. And so because we're humans, we love the connection, we love the communication, we love the engagement, the hug, the touch, whether it's from a sexual aspect or just from a friend aspect of just being connected. And that's something that we're missing out on. And so, unfortunately, we don't have the ability to touch anyone if you're not in the home with someone. But kind of connecting with someone virtually is will not necessarily feel that, but it will decrease that desire to be touched. Also, spending one-on-one time with yourself, maybe taking a hot shower, just doting on yourself, whether you're giving yourself a pedicure or combing your hair or rubbing lotion on your body. Just different things to kind of help, highlight the different sensations that you feel on your body, giving yourself a hand massage, just doing different things to yourself in that moment to satisfy that desire to be touched.
It's really great to hear that there are things that we can do in the crisis or in this crisis of isolation. Is there any self-care appropriate in a situation where we might be sheltering in place with people who trigger us?
I wouldn't say they wouldn't necessarily love you. You may just be triggered by them.
Okay.
And trigger could be, whether it's verbally, some of the things that they may say or do. And if it's a one particular common area in the home where everyone is, I would say to steal away and go into your own room and set boundaries and set a certain time frame where you come out to commune with one another in that one area space. So now you're interacting with others. And when you feel triggered or when you feel like you've had enough, then retreat to your own room and engage in some of the things that we mentioned before, as far as practicing gratitude, engaging in some type of virtual connection, set a schedule to have a Netflix party with someone to be able to watch different things. Maybe even set a Netflix party with some of the people in the house, and they're in their own room and you're in your own room, and now you're connecting with them over Netflix party, and you're not doing it right by each other. So kind of limiting the connection and the access of them to you so that you won't be triggered, because it's so easy to be triggered right now. It's so much going on in the world, and by people being isolated, the increase of domestic violence, the increase of child abuse, it's so many different things that have increased with this social isolation. We have to be able to figure out what works for us and to set boundaries. That's one of the things that I believe we as people kind of suffer to do, is to set boundaries with others. And so by setting boundaries, you know what you will allow to occur for you. And if you're feeling triggered, it's no reason to force yourself to stay there and to continue to be triggered. Give yourself permission. Okay, I'm going to go in my room and just kind of relax for a little while. And you go in there and you enjoy that time alone. But it's not necessary for you to continue to inflict yourself with triggering and pain and fear and anxiety of other people in the house.
Kimberly, thank you so much for this information. I'd like to know, is there anything more that you'd like to say to our audience?
I would say overall, when there's some type of feelings and it's something that you yourself are not able to self-regulate, and you're continuing to feel anxiety, you're continuing to feel depressed, if you get to a point where you're feeling suicidal, I would say to reach out to the suicide hotline. If you are feeling as if you can't conquer the different thoughts that are coming into your mind, reach out to a therapist such as myself who provides virtual sessions where you can connect with someone virtually online and be able to express and be able to interact with someone that's able to listen to you. Very seldom do we have the ability to have someone to listen to us for a full hour without interjecting their own thoughts or their own perceptions or changing the subject. You have that ability when you're in therapy to be able to have that one-on-one time with your therapist to be able to express and to feel supported in whatever it is that you may be experiencing.
Oh, thank you so much for that great information. If there is someone out there who'd like to reach you or to reach a therapist, do you have any contacts for us?
My name is Kimberly Tyler-Brown. I'm located in Long Beach, California, and I do provide virtual sessions. And so that's for anyone within the state of California. Email address is kimberly@releaserestore.com. And my telephone number, if you would like to reach out to me, is 562-353-8973. I would look forward to hearing from you and would love to support you on your therapeutic journey to help you step into the world of healing.